now. An ambulance there apparently turned away at the ICE detention center in Newark, where these protests were happening on Friday, where the mayor got arrested. Let's bring in correspondent Alexis McAdams. She's live on the ground there. Alexis, walk us through what just went down.
Hey, Jillian. So we've seen at least 2 ambulances try to pull into this ICE detention facility here in Newark, New Jersey. One was right here through these gates, and they turned that ambulance away. Why? Because if they open up these gates all the way, like they did on Friday, then they're afraid people are going to kind of rush through. So right now you're looking at a group of people who've been out here for a few hours that are kind of blocking the gates. They're saying they're not going to allow anybody to come back in. These are clergy members who they say are trying to stick up for whoever is inside of this ICE detention facility. I know you.
Whoa, what are you
Push that gentleman out to the side. This is a group from Faith in New Jersey and Faith in Action who have gotten together, created a human chain outside this Dulaney detention facility in Newark, which was the subject of a, quote, I guess, oversight visit by a couple of members of Congress on Friday that ended in a pushing and shoving match.
We say no, we say no, we say no, we say no. Fascism is got to go.
And so we've seen at least 2 ambulances try to pull into this ICE detention facility here in Newark, New Jersey. One was right here through these gates, and they turned that ambulance away. Why? Because if they open up these gates all the way, like they did on Friday, then they're afraid people are going to kind of rush through. So right now you're looking at a group of people who've been out here for a few hours that are kind of blocking the gates. They're saying they're not going to allow anybody to come back in. These are clergy members who they say are trying to stick up for whoever is inside of this ICE detention facility.
Yeah, tense moments here at the ICE detention facility, especially because there's a shift change happening with immigration officials. Let's take you over here where you see those protesters locking arms in protest of this detention facility, and you have police standing by there. We've seen this play out a few times. Darren, if you pan to the left, you can see there are cars of employees waiting to exit. We've seen them forcibly move the protesters a few times now, but not make arrests to get.
I'm not touching it.
Sorry.
Communities, that's what you should know. Don't let them out.
Sir. Sir.
What side? Close it. You need to close
it. Sir, I need you to back up, sir. I need you to back up.
Hands up. Touch me.
Hands up!
Put your hands on my arm.
No, you touch me. No, he fucking touched me.
Hands off! Hands off! Hands off! You escalate. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? She didn't do anything!
What are you doing? Stay over here. Yo, pay attention. Look. Yo, miss.
He's not getting his phone.
No.
Back up. Back up.
I can't. Hold on. Excuse me.
Well, Lawrence, you'll probably remember that part of the reason that they were protesting apparently is because they were saying we didn't have the right permitting, we didn't have the right inspection, which is absolutely false. We had all the right permitting, all the right fire code inspection, electrical inspection, safety inspection. But in a press conference afterward, just showcasing that they want their 15 minutes of fame, they actually said that the conditions in the facility were quite good and up to snuff. So it's pathetic, and we won't stand for this in this administration.
And I'll tell you this, I can guarantee you this facility has higher detention standards than any New Jersey facility. This facility has highest detention standards in the industry. You compare that to any jail in New Jersey and you'd be shocked how high these detention standards are.
To the steady beat of a drum, religious leaders from around the tri-state marched toward the Delaney Hall Immigration Detention Facility. They sang freedom songs as they locked arms in front of the gates.
Delaney Hall is an unlawful detention facility that has disappeared our neighbors.
Trucks moving in and out of the busy port of Newark honked their support. The reverends and rabbis leaned on their faith while demanding freedom for those being held inside.
The Jewish people know a little something about what it's like to be deported.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
Anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, on Representative or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
I think that breaking the law in defense of people who broke the law by virtue of being in this country is viewed as a way to get ahead in the Democratic primary for the gubernatorial race in New Jersey. There's an open primary. Republicans and Democrats are at it right now, and that election is being held this November. And the guy who got arrested, the mayor of Newark, he's a longtime antagonist. And instead of being criticized by people in his party, he's being praised. And guess what else? Getting a lot of name ID. And I would bet that his FEC report will show that he got a lot of donations.
So why don't the fire officials go to the front? They won't let y'all know come through any entrance, anybody come through. No, I understand your question. I know, I understand. You have to move away from your side and not the soul. We need you to get off the gate. Go out the gate. Don't want to make the fire official don't say that.
DHS came out Friday and said point blank, had these members requested a tour, we would have facilitated such tour. And then number two, since then, some Democrats have gotten into the facility and said the conditions are great. So this is all for naught. It is all for, to Dana's point, political posturing.
How much does it cost? How much does it cost to be a Nazi? A Nazi piece of shit!
On the radio, I was going to the gym and I had to come down here because you people are idiots.
Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on?
Watch her. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Hey.
My people, which side are you on?
It's not the proper way to do it. There's a proper way to conduct oversight. There's a way to make appointments, go in this facility. You don't break into a facility when a bus full of criminals are being, brought into that facility. This is about the safety and security of the employees. This is about the safety and security of the illegal aliens. And it's about the safety and security of the public. You just don't make an entry like that. You don't make an unauthorized entry while they're moving a bus of criminals in the facility. There's a right way and wrong way to do it. And look, I've said from day one, you cannot support ICE. You can go ahead and support sanctuary cities, but you can't cross that line. You can't cross the line of impediment. You can't cross the line of knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien. You certainly can't trespass in a facility that's contracted by the U.S. government to house criminals. That'd be like breaking into a state prison, not going through the proper protocols. This creates a huge safety crisis, and these elected politicians know that. This isn't about due process. This isn't about constitutional rights. This is about politics. They simply don't want these people removed from this country. They don't want immigration enforcement in this country. And that's what it's all about. They can try to hide it all they want with these protests around the facility, but we can continue to do what we're doing. That facility's got some of the worst of the worst. We're keeping President Trump's promise to the American people that elected him for the sole reason of securing the border and removing these public safety threats from the communities. That's exactly what they're going to do. They can stand out and scream all they want. They can trespass, they'll be arrested. If they impede, they'll be arrested. If they knowingly harbor and conceal, they'll be arrested. We're going to do this job for the American people.